Welcome to the Backlot 605 podcast. I'm Casey.
I'm Brian.
And today we are joined by a special guest. This is Allison Berg. Allison, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. So basically, I just want to start off with just a first question. Tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. I grew up in South Dakota, primarily Del Rapids and Aberdeen. I started getting into filmmaking about 8 years ago, and I've been doing it full-time for around 2 or 3 years now. I work with Labyrinth Films as an account executive, producer, and writer, as well as a few other things like CIT, actress, camera assistant, and really whatever else is needed. I love getting to experience all of the roles I can as a filmmaker.
So you're pretty much a jack of all trades, I would say, in the filmmaking world right now.
Yes, I try to be. I'm working on it.
So you said you just grew up on film, or got into filmmaking about 8 years ago. How did you kind of get into that? You know, where did you start off? Did you grow up loving films or want to be an actress or director? Where did that all start?
You know, I don't think there was a movie or actor or anything that inspired me to become a filmmaker, really. There's always been something inside of myself drawing me towards making movies that I can't quite explain. Like looking back, everything I've ever done in my life has led me unknowingly to being a filmmaker, which probably sounds a little weird, but it's the thing I didn't know that I've always wanted to do. I discovered filmmaking in high school 8 years ago. I think I was a sophomore in high school, and through coincidence, I met Sean, who is the owner of Labyrinth Films, and we really hit it off. He came into my high school. I was in radio and TV production, and he noticed how much I love film, and he invited me to do a short film with him for a 48-hour film festival, and it really took off from there. We hit it off, and after the first short film I think we did, I knew instantly that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And he's definitely one of the people that helped me start this off. And I don't have anything that inspired me to make movies, but I definitely have people in my life now that inspire me to keep going and keep getting better. And I'm incredibly grateful to them because it's a lot of hard work and it's something you just can't do alone.
Do you look at any sort of like movies or anything now that you're in the business as kind of inspiration or kind of where you want to see yourself going to? Like right now you're kind of like a jack of all trades, but you know, now that you're kind of getting in everything, is there kind of one niche that you kind of want to kind of drive towards to be, you know, becoming? Did you want, you know, to become like the director, to be the producer, you know, that sort of thing?
Right. I think if I could choose anything, I would like to be an actress. But again, I love everything behind the camera as well as in front. And I think my goals and my dreams have always been being an actor, though. That's the ultimate goal for me.
Hey, if anything, if one will help lead into the other, you know, that's, you know, not uncommon either.
Right. Absolutely.
So right now you are working on a new project called Stay the Night. Can you tell us a little bit about that and kind of what it's about?
Stay the Night, at its core, is this twisted coming-of-age story about this girl who realizes her own limitations and then surpasses them. When writing it, Stephen King was a huge inspiration, as well as the Brothers Grimm, actually. And when filming it, our DP, Sean, used some of Del Toro's dark fairy tale style to influence some of his decisions, and he did a beautiful job. I mean, it looks great. The log line for the movie is when her car dies on a desolate forest road, a young college student waits for help at an isolated bed and breakfast. So, I mean, the setup is very typical of any horror movie you might see out there, but the twists and turns it takes along the way will hopefully be a new experience for the biggest horror fans out there that have seen it all.
Awesome. How far along would you say you guys are in the project?
Right now we are in the editing stage. We still have some pickups to do this summer, but we're pretty far along.
So would you describe the film as a straight-up horror film with, you know, thriller elements, or how would you describe the film?
Our film is a slasher and a ghost story all in one. And I would say it's a straight-up horror film. Fantasy, like dark fairy tale horror, I would say.
So then, going off that question, what are some films that you kind of draw inspiration from, or would kind of compare it to? Because for me, I'm a big horror fan, so I kind of, whenever I think of just ideas for movies that I would like to see made, it's always drawing inspiration from a certain film I had seen before. What are some of those films that you looked at?
That's a tough one. Because, I mean, usually I do the exact same thing. But this one was a little bit harder because the route we wanted to take with it, I'm sure the movie exists out there somewhere, but I wasn't familiar with any particular storyline that exactly matched or was close to matching. But I'm sure it's out there. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one.
You gave her a good stumper this time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there, with, obviously this is just one project that Labyrinth is working on. Do you guys have anything else that Labyrinth is working on, or anything else that is in the works that you might be able to tell us about?
I don't think there's anything that I can say right now. It's I suppose we did something with Jared Leto in his documentary, A Day in the Life of America. That was a year ago or so, but it's just coming out now.
Yeah, I remember hearing about you guys working on that project. What are some of the stuff that you guys actually did with that?
For working on Jared Leto's 30 Seconds to Mars documentary project, which is called A Day in the Life of America, we were responsible for capturing, on the 4th of July, South Dakota's segment in his documentary. So we went to a reservation for a powwow, and we got to interview some awesome people there. And yeah, we were just responsible for South Dakota's part in it.
No, that's pretty cool. I gotta see Jared Leto live, so he's kind of this crazy, artist that I like to follow all his music in his movies. I just find him fascinating himself.
Oh, just for the fact that he can do
so much different stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, and some of our footage was used on the music video Walk on Water, which was really cool. I'm so excited to see the feature.
No, we are too. I remember hearing about this project a while ago, and it's cool to see that there is a South Dakota connection to something like this.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So obviously, since they were doing the 4th of July thing for all 50 states, how does it that you guys are the ones that were able to get involved compared to like other different groups or productions within South Dakota?
I'd have to ask Sean that one because they contacted him, but I think it had to do with Jared Leto's team contacted a filmmakers board, and from there, Sean at Labyrinth Films was suggested, and he was gracious enough to take me with because it was a fantastic time. It was very intense because it's so scary not knowing what you're going to get and only having that one day to film, because that was a huge criteria for them. Like, we could not film before or after the 4th of July. Like, only that day. So, and we had to work with natural lighting, and it was a live event, and it was a good experience.
Exciting, scary.
Yes.
Every emotion wrapped in one.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Now, I know there's some other projects that you guys worked on that we've actually covered here on our show. It's a project you worked on called Tatetot and Patent. How did you guys get involved with Andrew on that project?
I know that Sean O'Connell is good friends with Andrew, and they've been friends. I don't even know when their friendship started, but we helped them on Dust of War as well. So it kind of started there, and we've had a long time friendship with him. So Sean got to help on set of Tatetot and Patent. I did not help on set of that, but I was able to edit the trailer for it. So I'm really excited about that. But
I would be. There's so much work that goes into a trailer nowadays.
Yes, there is. They're hard.
Let's jump back to your project, Stay the Night. So you're in the editing process, you said correctly?
Yeah.
What is the next step you're looking forward to take with that? Is it going to be entering some festivals? Are you looking for distribution? What's kind of the next step on that?
Oh man, I thought you said these wouldn't be hard. The next step, I think, is getting the word out there. We've been keeping this project pretty under wraps for a while now. Not many people know about it. So our next step is getting the word out there and finishing up the movie, getting it all edited, and we do have some awesome distribution companies that we teamed up with on our past work, but I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. We're still pretty undecided if we're going to self-distribute or go through our distribution networks instead. So still thinking about it.
Well, how would you say that people locally, in the South Dakota area could, get involved with, whether it be your project or any project, such as like Stay the Night, around the South Dakota?
Sure. So, like, how can people get involved in filmmaking?
Yeah, like for instance, like if you guys were working on something and you guys were even looking for extras or even extra hands on board just to be able to get stuff done because you guys are in a time crunch, or you got people like me, for example, who just wants to be a part of the experience and help out wherever I can help out, or aspire to be part of the filmmaking process. How do people like myself would try get involved either with you guys or just in general?
Sure. If filmmakers out there want to get involved, a good way to start is just by messaging Sean at Labyrinth Films and going to the Facebook page, giving it a like, and sending us a message, or liking any of our movies that we've done and sending the movie page itself a message. We will do our best to get back, and I'm sure there's always something that people can do to help, because we're always looking for more help and willing people to participate, because filmmaking is a team effort, and we're always looking for more people. So
On this project, Stay the Night, you are the director on the project as well, and I believe, is this your first time directing?
it is my first time directing. Yeah.
What was that experience like? Because I've done a few short films through school, and I find that's one of the hardest things you can do is try to control, depending on how big the project is. You could have just a couple people on set to dozens of people on set. So just what was that experience like?
It was tough directing. I was also the writer, and I'm also the main character, Abby Walters, in it. So directing, as that trifecta, it's a rewarding experience, but also very difficult. It can be a really difficult process, especially with trying to find the words to tell your other actors what you want for them or changes you might be looking for. But I had a great team that I could lean on, and everyone knew what they were doing for the most part. Like, everyone was great at what they did, and I didn't have to do a lot of work as far as that goes. I mean, I had it pretty easy. My team gave it to me pretty easy because they were all great. I was very lucky.
No, that's always very helpful when you don't have anyone butting heads on set or anything like that. It all just works as a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you say you would give upcoming filmmakers in the South Dakota area?
So many people out there are in such different circumstances. It can be hard to give general advice, but I think something that goes for everyone is be kind, be genuine, and be humble. The awesome thing about filmmaking is that it's like a team sport. A lot of times it's the creativeness of everyone involved coming together that makes an amazing movie. And I know it should seem obvious, but I've seen so many people's pride and ego get in the way of making something great. So I'd say balance your vision with collaboration and with people you trust, of course. And movies will never go the way you think. So having people there to help problem solve and troubleshoot will be a lifesaver in the end. And it might even come out better than the original idea. Of course, do what you can where you're at. Go out there, film your movie, write your screenplay, and make connections and, learn from them. The best way to learn is by doing, and don't wait for someone else to make a movie for you. Gather a team or some friends and make something.
No, I think that's awesome advice.
No, that reminds me of everything you typically see of all the people and the trolls on the internet and whatnot that only have nothing but negative things to say. And it's like, if you think you can do it better, go out and do it then.
Yeah.
All right, I just got one last question for you, just out of fun, because I love horror movies, and this is a horror movie. What are some of your favorite horror movies that you have seen?
I love all the classics, like The Exorcist, The Shining, Silence of the Lambs is great. But some of the newer horror movies I think deserve some love is Creep, Grave Encounters, and probably the first 3 Purges. Chernobyl on HBO. It's not a horror movie, but it gave me a good sense of dread and fear of the inevitable death and other feelings that belong in a horror film. So I tend to gravitate towards movies that make me question what I would do in the same situation and push me to discover things I didn't realize about myself. And all those movies I've listed, and there's many more I know I'm forgetting, but those movies make me afraid of myself and what I would choose, and I think that's awesome. And it's a fantastic and terrifying experience when a movie can do that to you.
No, that's an awesome way to look at horror movies. I feel the very similar situation when I watch some of these movies. Like just the reaction of what would you do in that situation. I love that concept.
Yeah, that's the first one I immediately think of.
Brian, do you have any other last questions? Otherwise,
No, I
think...
don't have any other questions. I think we've done pretty good.
Yeah. So, Allison, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Where can people find yourself, your film, and Labyrinth Films?
Yeah, you can find it all on Facebook. We just set up the page today for Stay the Night to line up with the podcast. So thank you guys for having me on. And, Labyrinth Films, type it in on Facebook, and that's probably the best way. And also labyrinthfilms.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on. This was an awesome thing to talk to you about your project, and we cannot wait to see this when this eventually comes out.